Good morning. On the 18th day of our 63-day vacation in Nicaragua for 2025. I have some thoughts on my mind this morning about the plane crash in DC today that supposedly killed 67 people, I think it is, reported. As I grieve about that, I also think about the grieving I've been doing pretty much every day since October 7th, a year ago. And it occurs to me that 67 people dead is not an unusual day for what we're delivering daily by funding the slaughter, the genocide in Gaza and the West Bank of Israel. And I have to wonder how people are feeling about this as they hear it. Is this a whole different thing since these are American citizens only a few thousand miles away from, or a few hundred miles, or a few miles away from people in the United States? Is that so different that the people who are dying in Gaza don't seem to matter? I don't know. It matters to me. I noticed also this morning that the New Yorker magazine has an article which was read to me about a new kind of psychology that's looking at our evolutionary psychology reacting to fear and arguing that that's the main basis of our feelings and reactions based on some fossil remains of 3 million years old. It's pretty woo-woo, but it fascinates me that they're looking at what kinds of things trigger our emotions. And I want to read some about it when I get back to Portland. One of the things that they think they've discovered by studying human behavior from this perspective is that number one on a list of things to not do in trying to understand is don't rely on facts. And then they think they have uncovered that the narratives, the storytelling has a lot more impact than trying to conjure up facts to persuade people. Well, of course, that hits pretty close to me, where I've been working here on telling little stories. It's not my purpose in doing this to persuade people who have been supporting some of the unbelievable things that Donald Trump has been saying and that the MAGAs have been saying. But it's interesting to me, the idea that perhaps if you tell people stories, you can have more impact than trying to cite facts and figures. And I've sort of stumbled into that in my relations with two of my high school classmates who are still alive, both of whom are Trump supporters. I find that if I tell them stories from my life as I think they relate to how I formed the kinds of opinions I have that are so different from theirs, that they seem to have the patience to listen to me. And of course, I treasure my friendship with those two men. One of them had a huge impact on me, and I've been thanking him for that recently for the first time. He made the motion in our student council to pay $1,000, which covered most of the cost, for my trip to Sweden as an AFS exchange student. And it was then and there that I became indoctrinated with walk together, talk together, O ye peoples of the earth, then and only then shall ye have peace, from the Psalms. And we were trained on the way across the Atlantic, which took over 10 days in the old tub of a ship we were in. We were trained to have that approach to our experience, to get to know the family in depth and to learn to talk with them. Well, I'm trying to do that some with my conservative friends and understand why they feel the way they do, and reach out to them. And of course, that's something that I think us so-called Democrats desperately need to do. We need to stop saying, how can these people be so stupid? And talk with them and listen. I have a lot of ideas about how this all came about that I'm not going to reel out here on this video, but we need to talk. We need to talk, because this isn't going to go away just with a snap of the fingers. And near the core of my concern is, how are we going to convince the people who are supporting Donald Trump now that it's we that are on their side, when we are refusing to support medical care for everyone, and we are funding and approving the slaughter of people in Israel? What kind of a political party is that? And how are we going to explain this to our grandchildren? The Germans spent 70 years trying to explain what happened with their getting drawn in to what Hitler was doing. And I saw a reel this morning of a woman talking about a grandmother and her grandchild who were speaking Spanish to each other being grabbed off the street by ICE and put in a relocation center to prove that they're native-born, lifelong U.S. citizens. Think of that. Well, I hope you're having a good day. It's warm here, and there's a nice breeze, and I'm so grateful to be alive and to have the good health I do have. Adios.